Hey guys, in today's video we are building the real grade Zaku II Miku version. Obviously the cover of the instructions is just the regular real grade Zaku II, the chars version. And that other sheet is just the sticker kind of layout and also shows like where the internal stickers go because the sticker sheet's completely different. Now this kit starts with the lower half of the legs first, which is kind of how I prefer them to go. Sometimes they start with the head and all that. And if you built a bunch of different kits, you kind of know how it goes. But we'll go ahead and get the feet started here. One of my favorite things about this kit is the colors, because it's just a lot of uncommon colors that show up. Like the blue. I don't think the light silver shows up much, and especially the jet black. I don't see much at all. This is so. If you've built a lot of the older real grade kits, they're a little finicky, a little wobbly. This is definitely like that. It does what little poses I've tried does hold, but like particularly like the hands are the holding hands are not great. I kept having the ball joint with the fingers that hold the set of fingers to the hand like constantly popping off and falling off, so I ended up just not even bothering. He's just gonna be having there's a place for all the weapons except for the Zaku rifle, so that's the only one it's not mounted with, but hey, it is what it is. Another thing that is these inner frame pieces, man, they are kind of tough. Mainly because they do have some like mold lines and stuff, and like a bunch of little different spots where they had the mold injected into. But also, you have to, for a lot of them, not for this first one with the legs, but for the arms, you have to take them apart into like multiple sections. And those are some tight joints. You have to really pull on them. This one, I believe, you don't have to pull nothing off. Just kind of bend it, and there's like one of the two little spots you have to bend, and then that's it. And there's also a lot of parts that some parts did attach directly to the legs. Some of them didn't attach to the leg; they attached around it, which I'm not a fan of because it leads to. I mean, some of it's okay because it's for like the moving parts, like when the knee joint bends and stuff. But some of them kind of sit there a little loose. Not like they're going to fall off loose, but they kind of just aren't static. And I don't know, I've always preferred just things fitting a little more snug. Yeah, I'm glad that all the recent real grades that I've built don't use this inner frames technology anymore. The only older one that I've built is the Red Frame Astray Gundam. I built that years ago. But that one I believe used a similar inner frame system as this. And then I built at least 3 others, real grades, that I don't think any of them did. I built the real grade Sinanju, the Hainu, and the new Gundam in the Hainu, both of those. I do all the detail, like the stickers at the end. I didn't do any panel lining. There's not a whole lot of. Yeah, there's some like detailed stuff on the silver, but that'd be the only one worth doing that in the blue, because obviously the black panel ain't gonna show up on the black. We'll get more into like the stickers at the end when I get to those, because there's a little thing about that as far as some of the stickers in the black parts basically just not really showing up. But as we're making our way through the legs here, getting all the inner kind of mechanic parts on, and little thrusters. There's a lot of little parts with this kit. All these little thrusters that kind of go on, as well as obviously the hose bits. Man, I'm not a fan of those. It's been a long time since I've built a actual like Zaku, so I just kind of forgot. I do show what ones I have at the end of the video. But it's I have a master grade that I built a long time ago, and I forgot about the individual little pegs though. I'd have to really look at it. I don't know if they the same as this one was. It's been so long since I built that one. And obviously the SD Gundams, which I built on the channel some months ago, none of those, it's individual little pieces. But once we get the rest of this leg done, you'll see the first section of that. The first ones, the ones that go on the legs, because they have to be able to bend, because it goes above and below the knee, are made with little spring pieces. So once we get the rest of these arbor, keep yawning. It's late. I was trying to get this video done to be uploaded this morning, but I was working on the edit late, and then obviously I'm getting to it late tonight too. But hey, it is what it is. I was gonna try. I'm trying to get the my Chalice Dreadnought done. I was hoping to get it done for Wednesday. Probably gonna move that video to Thursday now, but I don't see getting it done in time. I'm getting close though. Like, some of the parts are finished. Some of the big parts aren't. It's probably just gonna take one more weekend. Okay, here's the bend. You can see some of the panels move on the thigh there, and here goes the first set of these. And it very much does matter which ones you do. So I definitely suggest, if you've never built one of these before, follow the instructions on which ones to use, because some of them are all the same. Some of them are ordered, are asymmetrical, I guess you could say, because they're for like around the waist and the head, where there's like 90-degree bends and stuff, and so they have ones where on one side it's a little thinner, so they can all sit tighter together. So you can get that, like, it's like a real full look without it being too much. And you do use all these except for, like, I don't know, 6 of them, I think. And I do drop a couple of them, but I do find them and pick them back up. And this part was hard, getting the little end cap piece, because the spring's so flexible. You have to, like, grab the end of it and, like, stretch it out and then hold it tight enough to press fit the end cap piece in. But yeah, and it just kind of snaps in, which at first, when I first put this in, I didn't get it in all the way, but when I actually finished the other one, I noticed that, and I was able to get it all the way in. And let's see if I show the bend here. I'm mostly just looking at it. Obviously, I'm doing it off camera here. Yeah, there it is. And with that, the leg is done. So after this, of course, it's going on to the waist. Here's the final 2 legs. Man, I just love the color combination of these. I did hear that they are supposed to be doing a album that's Hatsune Miku covering some Gundam openings. So I have to keep an eye out on that. See if there's some physical release, depending on how much it costs. I might try and cop that. I don't actually own any other like Miku stuff though. This is the first Miku thing I've ever bought. I think they've had other model kits in the past. So I might have to look about getting one of those. Anyway, I'll go ahead and get this. Just kind of rambling on. Gonna get the rest of this here waist done. Well, the first part of the waist. Some spots I do just kind of cut out because it's. I'm planning on getting a different phone holder for recording. I record all the stuff with my phone. To have a camera angle that's like directly above, looking down on my desk for future videos. So it probably won't be the next ones, but I'm probably going to order one of those like this week. So hopefully in the next week's videos, I'll have like some different angles and stuff for things, so I get better. Sometimes it's hard to figure out where I'm looking at with the camera. Also on this waist, just a heads up, the ball joints for the front 2 skirt pieces are not that snug fitting. They kind of just like pop in, and that one of them I had to pop out a bunch. So just keep that in mind if you're planning on like posing this thing around. It might most likely happen to you. If you're gonna leave it in a standing static pose, it might be worth throwing a little glue in there. I didn't, but you know, I'll see if it's just like if handling it, like to like take it off the shelf to like clean the shelf and stuff causes it to fall off, I probably will. I ended up only gluing one piece on this, and that was the there's a little clear lens on the bazooka, which we'll get to at the end. I ended up gluing it because it kept falling out. But now we're moving on to the arms. You can see right there in the back there, I have this arm section split into like 4 pieces. Which one of the things is, so some of the other ones like the waist, there's pieces that you pull off and you just don't, it's just part of the molding process, you just throw it away. But this, you split into 4 pieces, and even though you don't use one of them for the arms, you use it for when you build the upper body, and it's for like where the arms connect into the sides, the parts that stick out and connect into the actual shoulders. So I don't know, it's an interesting way to do this. I don't remember having it. It's been so long since I built one of the older real grades. I kind of wish they would have did a, because I know they did a RX-72. I think they did a 2.0 with the real grade. Or it might have been something else. And they need to do that for the Zaku 2 as well. Wish I would have did it before doing this, but also those wrist joints, man. I hate the freaking wrist. It's just 2 pieces that sit there loose between the forearm and the hand. I'm not a fan of that. I want those pieces to snap into place. If they don't need to move, they don't need to move. They can just be designed to snap in. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, going on to the shoulder shield. Nice little 3-piece thing. You get that little color separation on the inside. And I did actually put this little piece on wrong first, so that's why there's a little cut here, because it took me a minute to figure out like why I wasn't snapping in all the way. Then I figured out I had it the wrong way. But here is the first arm done, and so now I'm gonna go ahead and throw together the spike pauldron arm, and then we'll get onto the upper body. Another thing, so these little spikes that go on this shoulder, they did them in the light silver. They should have just did them in the blue that's on the stickers. Instead, you have these big old stickers that go. You have to like try and place them right so they wrap around properly. And I don't think I got any of them quite right. If you look, you'll see they're a little offline where they like the sticker overlaps, but they're pretty close to where like just looking at it, you're not going to notice. And it does make the points a little sharper, honestly. But man, they should have just did it in the blue. I guess they didn't. With this release, they didn't redo none of the sprues. They just redid the colors. So I guess it's just the color that, you know, color at the shoulder was, because that's how it was in the original kit. But that's one of the little things that would have been nice. So we got a nice big jump here to the upper body. Just for the sake of the length of the video, I kind of cut some of the little stuff out here and there. The little cockpit does open. There is no pilot. I don't know if there. I assume there wasn't one in the original release. Though there is a little char. I don't think I show him in this video, but yeah, there's a little jet black char standing, little mini. Which of course I just throw him where I throw like the extra hands in the Zaku rifle, just in a little bag. And here's for the most part the upper body. I still have to do the little backpack thruster and the hoses that go along the side. And we're getting one step closer to this bad boy being done. So these are the little thrusters for the backpack. Again, this kit has a lot of smaller, and it does seem a little small. I don't know if that's just a thing with the early real grades. I'd have to get an actual high grade Zaku just to compare. I know my real grade red frame Astray is very small, but that also could just be because it's a smaller mobile suit. That's the kind of thing with scale models, is if it's smaller, it's just smaller. Now we're moving on to the next hoses, which these are hard fixed hoses. They come with this extra long peg so that you could do this properly. And like I said, these are the ones that are all, some of them are different shapes slightly. And it was tough getting the first couple around some of these bends. And of course I didn't want to stay while I was working on getting the other ones. But I'm so glad I bought these God Hand snippers. It's my first time actually using them. Man, this is like perfect for them because they cut so cleanly. And honestly, a lot of these you could probably just twist them and they'll come off. Like, they come off very easily. And you do have to make sure you rotate these little things properly so that they all fit in all the way. And I was hoping that there was like, oh yeah, okay. So on the head, these connect differently. We'll get to that when we get to the head. But yeah, it's nice, just two little holes, they pop on either side, and there it is. A little out of focus, but hey. We'll go ahead and throw this bad boy together so far so we can get a little look at what we're dealing with. Of course, next is the head. Some of these joints are a little tight, they're hard to get in, which is, it's good that they're tight because then they'll actually hold poses and stuff and hold their weapons. But actually, like, putting it together is a little bit of a pain. And this is what we're working with so far. Again, like the second I saw what this kit was going to look like, I had to get it. So now we're going on with the head. Which this does have, I'll show it when I put the head on. The eye moves as you rotate the head in the direction that it's looking, which is also always a cool feature to have. And as one of the tiniest parts is the piece that is the eye lens itself. This is a little tiny clear plastic piece that I had to like really look at for a second to figure out what side the hole was on. And this took me a minute. As obvious as the sticker was, it took me a minute to find it because this is one of the few like instructions that, because it's a different sticker sheet, the number's different than from the original Zaku 2. And here I go trying to line this thing up and just scuffing it up a little bit. So I got two little scuffs inside of my Zaku eye. But it is what it is when you're placing these little ass stickers. And here is our little mono eye. Looking at it from a distance, you can't even really tell about the little scuffs, but I know that they're there, so it bugs me. And I already put all the little hoses on the pieces that go in the head. So I just gotta cut off the ends, and these, the back side doesn't actually attach into anything. There's a cap piece that goes on and holds them into place. So you just gotta make sure they're all the way in on the front and they line up. And here's the head. Nice bright silver head. Kinda hope they do a matching like Gundam or something to go with this. It'd be cool to have like a set of these. And then you kind of see the head turn. So now we're going on to the weapons. Just a simple Zaku rifle. The Zaku rifle and bazooka are just in the light silver and blue. All the blacks are just in the armor panels. And like the back of the hands. This did have a sticker that goes on the lens. But it didn't say to put it on at the time. So I just did it when I did the full sticker sheet. I say full sticker sheet, I didn't do all of the decals, there's quite a few. If you didn't notice when I showed it off earlier. Well, here's the little Zaku rifle. Just basic Zaku rifle that's in a lot of other kits. And the Zaku bazooka. Just took a moment to quickly check to make sure there wasn't like a top or bottom orientation. Doesn't seem to be. But yeah, this guy, the little lens, there's a little clear like disc piece that goes in like the scope, I guess, and it just there's nothing that holds it in place. I don't know if I just trimmed off a little too much when I cut the little nibs off, but I ended up like once I tried to, it like barely tapped on the desk and fell out, so I ended up just putting the tiniest little amount of I believe I used plastic cement. Actually, I didn't use super glue, I used plastic cement, and so it's in place. So I do wish there was a sticker to go over it. And a nice Zaku rifle with a different color blade. An actual silver blade, so it looks like a sharpened blade. It's pretty sweet. And just a little peg to hold it in, and then the crappy hands. And here's a time lapse of me doing a bunch of the decals. Didn't do all of them because I was running out of storage on my phone, and I was trying to just get this guy done. But I do all the decals for the weapons. Pretty much all the ones on the shoulders and arms. And then there's a lot of like blue lines that go in the black armor. Those show up nice because they're pretty decent size, but there's a lot of these little ones that if you've done the stickers for a lot of Gundams, you know, there's all these like little like caution labels, engineering labels type little things. A lot of them are like little bits of white text or little bits of like black text or whatever. There's a lot of them that are blue that go on the black armor, and when you put them on, you cannot see them. So I did not bother with any of them because they were so small, and it kind of just cluttered up the kit a little bit. You know, there's too many decals. It's a little crazy. There's a nice big Gundam X Miku one that goes on the shield. There's the ones that go on the spikes. You can see the blue with the pink stripe. Again, they could have just made the thing blue and then put just a little pink stripe. And like the 01, there is a bunch of extra like 01s, like the Miku 01s. So I put one of them on the front skirting, as you'll see at the end here. And it's coming to the end of the time lapse, so we'll go ahead and hop on over to the final showcase. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's look forward to more. I'm probably not going to be able to get that Dreadnought done for the midweek video, so I have 2 little SD Gundams, so I might do one of those. Here is the final Zaku. Decal. There's no little Miku sticker on the back of the backpack. There's that Miku X Gundam sticker. And I'll go ahead and do a little side by side with a couple other kits that I have. Some of the ones that this will be standing right next to on my shelf. So let me just go ahead and clear off the desk, and here it is. This is going to be the thumbnail, so you probably already saw these. Here's a high grade Goof Custom. It's definitely a little bit bigger. I mean, basically stands a head over it, but it's a good little comparison. Here's the SD chars Zaku. Built it some time ago, a few months back on the channel. As well as a bunch of other little Xeon kits with it, part of a set. And finally, here is the Master Grade Zaku I have. I forget what this variant is called, but yeah, I love it. So, see y'all on the next one.